Welcome, friends, to the Gamer Down. This is your host, Dark Hostess, and today we are checking out F.E.A.R 3. Oh yes, the latest installment of the F.E.A.R series, which has been around quite a while now. I remember the very first F.E.A.R, and when that came out, that was such a unique thing at the time because you genuinely got pretty damn scared playing that game. Then number 2 came along, and it just was terrible. F.E.A.R 2 sucked. I will, tell you that right off the bat. That was my opinion. It just sucked terribly. And here we are at F.E.A.R 3, which looked to have a lot of promise. John Carpenter was involved. Steve Niles was involved. And you probably know Steve Niles. He did like the 30 Days of Night. And John Carpenter, he's been around since I was like a little kid. And from Halloween and all those good things. So, I had a lot of high hopes. But even if you have a great story, if the gameplay just sucks, then there's not really much the story can do for it.
We were brothers, prototype commanders in the emerging field of psychic warfare. I was the favorite. I gave them what they wanted. I gave them blood. They say the synchronicity with my mother made me homicidal. He was the first prototype. His enhanced reflexes made him an unstoppable killer. When my brother found me, he put a bullet in my head, but our psychic link never broke. Like a curse, bound by blood.
And like every scary game these days, it has to have the squeaky merry-go-round, What's so damn scary about that? I don't know. Anyhow, the story is, Alma is your mother, the crazy little psycho, who, I don't know how she had time to go out and get laid and have kids. Maybe they were some of the guys from the insane asylum. That's a possibility. You gotta fill these holes in the stories, developers. And this is your mother, and you, of course, have inherited some of her evil psychic powers. And in the last F.E.A.R, you took out your brother, who was like the best of the best. The whole purpose of Alma was to breed these super soldiers using her special abilities, and to have these, enhanced uber soldiers. And in the last F.E.A.R, you basically killed your brother, and you see by the bullet hole in his head there. And he's come to visit you at your local insane asylum, where you are right now. Just hanging out, being beaten on. That always happens. It seems the military have broke into this insane asylum and are trying to extract some information from you. I guess that is the whole purpose of you sitting in this chair and being beaten on. Because once you leave this room, you can see that the entire insane asylum is destroyed and these soldier guys are everywhere. And you have special abilities, being Alma's son, of course. And you also have your brother, who will help you out on occasion. Such as right now, where he will possess one of the guards and come over here and give him a friendly chiropractic adjustment. Yeah. This game boasts a robust co-op play mode. I guess they're trying to bite into that Left 4 Dead audience. But there's just something really off with F.E.A.R 3. And you'll see what I mean very soon. Today we're only going to be looking at the single player. But this also offers a multiplayer with a few different game types and a leaderboard. So there is some competition. And every game has to have achievements now. And there are achievements, of course. And just, they're just so dumb, really. Honestly, guys, with these achievements, there's no need for them in everything now. I mean, you're getting an achievement for just sitting behind cover in this game. It just seems a little ridiculous. I mean, anybody, I've pressed the Q key, I've accomplished something. Achievements should mean something. They shouldn't just be that much fluff. And some games shouldn't even have them. They're just no reason to have them in F.E.A.R 3, really. It's just getting a bit redonkulous and overdone. It's monkey see, monkey do now. You know, they see one game doing it, then other games have to copy it. And copy the good stuff. Don't copy achievements and crap like that. And here we are. We are just now free from our insane asylum, where we've gained control of our character. And I was just looking around a bit, you know, gathering in some of the atmosphere. And that is basically all it is. There's really no reason to even look around except for atmosphere. I really didn't find any hidden treasures or secrets or anything like that. It was all very straightforward. In this game, it boasts spontaneous cutscenes or something like that, you know, like spontaneously generated content. But I have yet to come into any of it. You know, I've played this level here, and I've played the next level, and they were basically exactly the same every time. It's very heavily scripted, and I'm not sure what they mean about this spontaneously generated content. You know, I haven't yet seen it. Everything that happened the first time happened the second time. And earlier I said that you would see what I was talking about with some of the problems with F.E.A.R. These controls are just terrible. They are so stiff. And I messed around with the mouse sensitivity. I turned on aim assist, you know, I turned it off, and I turned it back on. I tried everything to get these controls to loosen up a little bit. And it was just so uncomfortable to play this, you know. I mean, the walking, the gunplay is just sucky. It's just so terrible, especially after playing like Bulletstorm or Ava, even, which is a free-to-play game. The guns on it feel so much better, and then once you know, you can really feel the difference when you pick up a real crappy game that has crappy controls. Now, I don't know if this story is going to be any good, because I'm probably not going to make it through this game because the controls are just so terrible. I mean, it is just almost impossible to get a headshot. And I even turned the difficulty down, you know, just to see what was going to happen, you know. And it would still take 5 or 6 shots to the guy's head to get him down, you know. It's just freaking ridiculous. And then there are the little things, the little plot holes. Like, didn't these guys just have a couple of machine guns, and then there's no machine gun there? You know, I should have been able to take their machine gun. And all I have is this stinky old crappy pistol. And this pistol sucks. And usually pistols are the #1 weapon in a lot of first-person shooters because they're your go-to game, you know, your go-to weapon. And look at this. I want to just show you this. Look, I'm putting my crosshair right on the dude's head. And you see he just walked away like nothing. Oh, bullet to my head. That was nothing, you know. So yeah, so it takes several headshots just to get any of these guys down, and it's no fun. I hate that. And at this point, I was on commando difficulty, so I thought, okay, maybe it's because I have it on commando difficulty, and it's gonna take more bullets. But yeah, you know, I toned the game down to recruit, and it didn't even matter. You know, it still took about like 2 or 3 headshots. And they have perfect aim, of course. You know, they shoot you every single time. And your bullets, even if you have the crosshair right on them, it seems like you're missing. So I don't know what in the hell is up. So this is a little bit later. I toned down the difficulty some, and I loosened up the mouse. I tried to loosen up the controls a little bit. I turned the sensitivity way up, and I turned the auto assist aim off. And God, I tell you, you know, it's like, look, I like throw this grenade, and it lands right on top of these guys' heads, and it does nothing to them, you know. It's like the dud grenade, and these weapons just feel like you're shooting a pea shooter or something, a BB gun. They feel like nothing. There's like no power to them at all. This game does also offer gamepad support, controller support, but I can't see that really helping much. You know, usually if you can't do it with a mouse or a trackball, then you're going to not be able to do it even that much more with a controller. So, yeah. And you can see like the stupid achievements, pitching a tent. Wow. You know, wow, I really did something. I crouched behind something and I got a damn achievement. That's just kind of stupid, man. I don't know. And as for like being scared or anything, yeah, that was like the furthest thing from my mind. But the main thing in my mind at this point was how crappy the controllers felt, or how crappy the gun play was. You know, that's what I was thinking about at this point. And all the jumping out in the world was not going to scare me. And I remember in like number one, the Fear number one. You know, you would be like climbing up a ladder, and then all of a sudden this scary thing would come and grab you off the ladder, and you'd start being pulled down the hall, you know, and everything was cool. You know, I mean, that would really get to you, you know. And there's none of those real moments like that. Everything is just like boo, boo, you know, like something jumping out from around a corner. That kind of scared. In the original F.E.A.R game, you know, which they said like they're trying to stick to the original, but they've gotten so far from it, in my opinion. They think that just jumping out and saying boo is scary. In the original one, you had like the darkness, you know, and the lights flickering, you know, you're going down the hall, and all of a sudden the walls start bleeding, and all this crazy shit was happening, and you would be on your toes the entire time. And here, God, you just, you know, it's just terrible. And here I get another achievement. Yeah, this one for using the slow motion. Alright, yeah. Alright, I used something I'm going to have to use. And, I don't know. I really wasn't very impressed. I'm not impressed with F.E.A.R 3 whatsoever. And it's a far cry from F.E.A.R 1, in my humble opinion. I think that the developers should go back and play F.E.A.R 1 once again and see what they're missing, you know? They're missing a lot. And the controls, I just cannot get over them. That's the main thing, you know, the lack of ability to get a headshot, the lack of ability to even aim at these guys. And like I said, the kick on this weapon, you know, as soon as you shoot it once or twice, your crosshair is just way off. I mean, it's just way unrealistic. I mean, even a real machine gun doesn't have that much damn kick to it. The AI, the artificial intelligence, also seems to be a lot worse than it used to be. I remember in F.E.A.R 1, like they would rush you, you know, they would come around the corners, you know, and try to flush you out. And not in this one, you know, you can pretty much sit behind cover the entire time, and the guys will just do the exact same thing. And as you see, like, you know, all you have to do is just sit right there and have your crosshair ready, and they'll peek right out. You know, there's no kind of intelligence in this artificial intelligence whatsoever. You know, they're just keep doing the same things over and over. If they've peeked out once, they're just going to keep peeking out over and over around that corner, which makes it very predictable. On, you know, when they peek out the next time, just shoot them in the head, and there's really no danger because they do not rush you whatsoever. So you can sit there all day behind your cover and pick these guys off. So there's really no competition for that, you know, at all. You know, I mean, it's too easy, way too easy. And another, you know, having your crosshair right on the guys' heads and they just won't die. You know, I just don't really dig it at all. And another thing I don't dig, I don't know why I've started to talk like I'm from the 60s. It just really grinds my gears too. This regenerating health system they have, it's terrible. You have no way to know how close to death you are. It's something that developers have started doing in a lot of new games now, and they're thinking they're making it more realistic by eliminating some of the HUD elements, but there has to be a health bar. You cannot eliminate the health bar. That is a necessity to any game. A person needs to know how close to health they are. I mean, how close to death they are. But, you know, it's so ridiculous with this regenerating health system. You know, you can just hide behind cover and be completely fine. And you can just hide as long as you want, and there's really no risk of death. You know, the only reason I died in this game is because I would take risks and I was trying to look around and things. But really, if you went carefully through this game, there would be completely no challenge at all. All you'd have to do is just sit behind cover, wait for your health to regenerate, you know, pop out when you're at full health, you know. Really no challenge whatsoever. I really wanted to like F.E.A.R 3, but the lack of oomph in any of the weapons. I dropped this grenade right at these guys' feet, and they just shrug it off like nothing. You know, it takes way too long to kill the enemies. Their AI is pretty much junk. They just hide behind something and they'll keep peeking out over and over again. There's I don't know how they could make this game any worse, really. I don't know. I couldn't find very much to like about it at all. I mean, the story was, you know, okay. The Alma, she's just not a very interesting character to begin with, and I guess maybe in F.E.A.R 1 they've just kind of milked her for all she was worth. They really should have went another storyline with this game, and they could have done a lot better. And I don't think anybody's too scared of little girls anymore. I think everybody's kind of over that a little bit. And despite this game boasting spontaneously generated scenes, I've yet to see one. I don't know if it's like a random number generator and one will just pop up, but I had to play through a few checkpoints a couple of times, and it was exactly the same as the first time. There was no change whatsoever. So unless they're just referring to something very obscure on one of the levels or some of the levels, like you know, I think it's something very rare. I don't know exactly what they mean that you can play through this game over and over again and it's never the same experience. It seemed like to be the exact same experience. You know, you're ridden on rails, everything is completely scripted. So I don't really see what they mean by being able to play it over and over. It's exactly the same as it was the last time. I've not seen any of this spontaneous generated combat, and if it is there, it's way too sparse to make this replayable like you're boasting. So I don't know what to say. I tried my best to like F.E.A.R 3. The controls were off for me. The AI, as you can see right here, they just will pop up right behind the exact same crate. There's no randomness to that at all. They'll continually just keep popping up from the exact same position. You know, it's just like, duh. And you're gonna get them eventually. They're gonna just keep popping out. You can just have your crosshair ready, and you can just keep hiding with this regeneration health system with no health bar to really know how close to death you are. Yeah, that is lame as well, but I did everything I could to like this game. I played with the controls, tried to make the controls less stiff. It was impossible. They still sucked no matter what I did. There was just really nothing I could do. And with all these just, I don't know, just problems, I'm giving F.E.A.R 3 a 5. That is what I'm going to rate this game. I'm giving it such a high rating, generally for the graphics. The graphics are very nice, and the story was pretty good. You know, I really wanted to find out more about the storyline, but God, the gameplay was so terrible that I guess I'm probably never going to know, because I cannot see myself enduring hours and hours of this kind of combat. The weapons are just terrible. It takes way too long to kill an enemy. So I know when I give a bad review to a game, people will usually thumbs down the video, so please don't thumbs down this video, for God's sake. Unless you don't like the video. If you like my reviews, then thumbs it up. But it only reflects on my review. It doesn't reflect on the game. And I know every time I give a bad review, I'll get all these thumbs downs because people think they're downing the game itself. But in actuality, you're hurting me and my channel by thumbing it down. So please don't do that unless you really don't like my videos. Who can do that? Anyway, here much later on in the game, this is actually on the lower difficulty, like the recruit difficulty. I was hoping that would maybe take some of the pain out of trying to take these guys down, because they just seem like Terminators. They were just way too hard to take down and made the weapons feel like duds. But it didn't seem to make any real difference at all. Even on the lowest difficulty, these guys would still take 3 shots to kill with a shotgun at point-blank range. So, yeah. F.E.A.R 3 has a lot of problems, and I'm not a big fan. They could have done so much better. God. Anyway, this has been Darkosis for the Gamer Down. Subscribe to my channel and thumbs up videos. Thanks a lot. Oh, I forgot. Last but not least, you can only carry 2 weapons at a time. So it's Halo rules, you know. Yeah, it really sucks. You can only carry 2 weapons at a time. That is another reason to dislike F.E.A.R 3. Alright, that's it. This is Darkosis for the Gamer Down. Thumbs up videos. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.
Down! Down! Target acquired! Eyes front! You see that? Affirmative! Son of a bitch! Take the point! I'm hit! Fuck! I've been hit! Target! Give me some cover fire! Affirmative! I'm in position!